Well, that's just typical me. So just yesterday, I unboxed and looked at this Razer Huntsman mini keyboard, and I even made a comment that I try and return Razer stuff pretty much every single time. Last few times I tried them for some reason. Now, there's nothing wrong with it per se. It's actually a very nice keyboard. I like it still. The thing is, earlier today, I got my son a new keyboard, and it was this one here, HyperX, a little bit larger form factor, and it came in the mail, and we hooked it up, and I actually really liked it. Like, the RGB looked much brighter than the Razer, and the switch, this aqua switch, felt nicer, I think. So I said, why not try a HyperX keyboard? I'm still committed to the 60% form factor. So I looked at it at Best Buy on the website. I saw it was pretty much the same looking keyboard here, just from HyperX. And pricing wise, this was $99. Now, Huntsman Mini usually goes for $120 with clicky switches, or $130 with linear switches. For some reason, it's just a different switch, but $10 more. This was $100, and this one comes with a red HyperX red linear switch. So a little bit cheaper. Now, to be fair, there was a sale on Razer for Best Buy members. It was actually $90, and I had a 10% coupon for one purchase that I used on this, so it ended up being $90. So I'm just gonna look at them as the same price keyboards. So yeah, I figured while I just got it, might as well check out something else, and if I like it better, well, I'm gonna keep one and return the other. And by now I already know myself, there might be more than just these two keyboards. I might end up trying a Corsair. But like I said, I was pretty impressed with the larger brother here of the Alloy Origins core. So I figured I'll try one in the smaller size for myself. Okay, let's see. HyperX, as you covered, and just a very basic quick start guide. Okay. Pretty basic packaging, very similar to what Razer comes as. And here we got some accessories. Let's take a look at those first. Just a cable, some USB Type-C braided. Nothing really special here. Razer's cable was a little bit nicer, but at the end of the day, it's just a cable. And over here, we got a different style spacebar. So this is kind of cool. You can sort of feel the texture on it. Okay. And keycap removal tool, and another, just a HyperX branded keycap. People usually put those as escape keys. So it's a keyboard itself. Yeah, it's a little bit heavier than the Razer. Right, so I'm not just unboxing this keyboard here, since I have both of them here in front of me. I figured might as well just do a quick comparison. It's gonna be nothing too serious. Just gonna compare how they sound and maybe what they feel like. Okay. Alright, interesting. So this is definitely heavier. It definitely feels much sturdier, because I think it's all aluminum body. And one thing, there's, just pull it out the package and there's already a scratch there. So that's kind of lame, but it looks like it'll wipe off. Okay, and those red switches are visible. Makes it look interesting. Now, to be completely honest and fair, just by the look of the plastic, let's unfold this too to make them about the same height. Okay. All right. Just by the look of the plastic, this looks kind of like dark gray versus this that actually looks black. And Razer does look a little bit more expensive, which it is. So just the feel of the plastic feels a little bit more premium here on the Razer versus the HyperX. But that's just the look of a keycap. It's not a big deal. In fact, I might have to take it back. This dark gray feels like it's probably not gonna collect as much of like oils from your hands as the black would. You can sort of see it right there already. I only had it for a day and I didn't get a chance to use it all that much. So I think this might be a little bit more resistant to that effect. Now let's look at the backs. Of course, Razer has this this print all over it for gamers by gamers. Pretty nice, but you don't actually see it. HyperX doesn't really have much, just the brand in the middle, and they both have 2-level standoffs. But it does, let's check, because the middle one, okay, so yeah, the HyperX does get you stand even higher, because this is the highest that the Razer can go. You can go a little bit lower, but if you want to go as high as we can, this is the highest it will go. And then there's HyperX, I don't know, I wonder if you can tell. It goes maybe 5-6 millimeters higher, and can make a significant difference. Now, let's do a quick sound test. There are different types of switches. These are clicky switches, and these are linear switches, are supposed to be much quieter. So yeah, there's no click at all. If you go slow, this actually feels a lot like my Corsair K100. Pretty much very similar feel, very familiar to my fingers. Might be a big plus. Now let's do the Razer. So yes, as we can tell, definitely much quicker. Yeah, last night I was trying to be kind of quiet. I'm supposed to do some housework, and instead I was on Twitter engaged in heated debate with somebody, and didn't want my wife to know. And this keyboard was kind of giving me away. It's really, really noticeable. So this is one of the probably biggest reasons why I actually decided to try another keyboard, because when I tried the one from HyperX with the aqua switches, which are tactile switches, but they're also really quiet, that's when I said, like, you know, maybe at the end of the day I would still prefer the slightly quieter keyboard. Okay, let's not break it here. I didn't break. I'm gonna go ahead and put this spacebar on. I think it just looks much cooler. We can get it on there. We can get it on there. Here we go. All right. Well, it's time to plug it in and take a quick look at the backlight. See if we can actually see it with this light in here. So obviously this one is on right now. And you can see the reactive effect there. This is another thing too. Again, with Razer, they're fine. I'm not saying they're bad, they're not bad. Pretty much any of the products I tried, they were good, but then I just try something else and it feels a little bit better. And for that reason, I'm like, I can't keep an inferior product. I have to go with the one that feels better. So one of these keyboards is gonna go back to the store. Now which one? We'll find out. I'm just gonna have to use it for a day at least, and then I'll know. So right off the bat, you can see this looks much, well, I don't want to say much nicer. It's probably subjective. I mean, some people might prefer a slightly understated look of the Razer. Plus, there's a different color scheme is enabled right now, so maybe it'll be fair if we switch to something similar, like the some sort of rainbow effect or whatever they call it. Let me see. Spectrum cycling, probably it. I just noticed something really weird. Okay, never mind. Just the caps was enabled. I didn't notice this before. So apparently when you enable the caps lock, it changes the color. So I saw the color was different from the rest of the keyboard, and I was wondering about that, but now we know why. So let me turn one of the lights off here to get just a little bit dimmer. So here's Razer. Let me see if there's something even closer. Maybe this wave. Yeah, this must be. This is it. So this looks good, and this is it's 99% brightness, pretty much the highest. I guess to make it as transparent as possible, let's put it to 100%. Okay. So that's what this looks like. Now let's see the HyperX. So basically what I'm seeing here is just much more reflection on the back plate. And I don't know if that's just because they use brighter LEDs or how the back plate is manufactured, but you can see the color just fills the entire keyboard. And the spacebar does look pretty cool. Okay, and over here, again, it's still good, really good. Razer Chroma lighting has always been great. It's always bright, it's very rich color. Put them side by side. So like I said, this is not an objective comparison. This is a very subjective thing. Some people might prefer this, some people, sorry about that. Some people might prefer something like this. I like both. I'm okay with both styles, personally. Let me see if there's a different type of backlight we can try. Here we go. It's a little bit different here. I think they call it a confetti. Kinda cool. And of course you can customize everything you want in software. I don't think I'm gonna go there today. Okay, so this is, I think they call it fire. So when you hit the key, it just kinda lights up, like almost like if there's a small explosion coming from your finger, different colors. A cool effect. I like that. I think it's similar to the reactive effect that Razer uses. I didn't see a reactive effect for HyperX, but I think this fire effect is probably the closest you can get. And also, of course, you can sort of layer different effects if you want. So you can make, say, a keyboard one color, like the white backlight, and you can make red fire going, similar to how I had my Razer set up. Yeah. And then as far as different functions, so it's very similar. You have function keys assigned to, make sure the zoom, or sorry, the focus is good. It doesn't look great, but whatever, it should get the job done. So as you can see, different functions are there. On the Razer, they lay out the function is a little bit different, so they actually start from here and go across like the second row, and then there's some more here about halfway, and just a couple on the bottom. And then the function key is the third one from the right. I kind of like this a little bit better. The function key is the very furthest one on the right, so the last one here. And then I like the arrow keys are right next to it, so this is very similar to any other regular keyboard. And then on the Razer, they're a little bit in a different position there. Like right there, right? So as you can see, okay. But that's the slightly lighter keyboard. Okay, and then you have most of those function keys just kind of located on the right side of the keyboard. And I believe the idea here, so yesterday I kind of speculated because I don't have a whole lot of experience with the 60% keyboards, but I said to Razer, okay, so I guess the idea is you hit the function key with your pinky and then you engage those other keys, which makes some of them still kind of far away. And now I feel like that's probably the right idea. You're supposed to just hit it with your pinky and just hit whatever function key you want. So over here it seems to make more sense because all those keys are going to be within reach for one hand operation. Alright guys, I'm gonna give this a test. I'm gonna use it for at least 24 hours and then see, but so far I feel like I kind of like this a little bit better. It's a little bit quieter switch. RGB looks nice. It's the same price, and the keyboard overall is a little bit heavier. And you know what? I would put it like this. I think Razer feels a little bit more premium, and this feels a little bit more like a gamer keyboard or gaming keyboard. But either one is good. As far as I can tell, both are very sturdy. This is just a little bit heavier as far as the build quality. I think it's all metal, so that kind of makes a difference. The cord is in about the same position on both, just on the left side of the keyboard. Yeah, very similar. Obviously very similar in size, and all these keyboards are. Okay, I actually have a quick update before I end this video. Forgive me the mess here, still trying to relocate stuff. Alright, so here are a couple of interesting things that I've noticed about this keyboard. One is the layout of the functions is much smarter than Razer's. So for example, your media keys are right here. So play, pause, next, or previous tracks, and they're in the bottom row and they're right in the middle of the keyboard. So very easy to remember where they are, very easy to hit. Then mute is on M, also should be much easier to remember, mute, M. And then your volume up or down is here, where you have the greater than and less than symbols. And again, it just kind of makes sense. You know, you go up, you go down, volume up, volume down. And then you have, again, mute, not to mention the arrow keys again. And so the rest is kind of like whatever. So that's one thing. Sorry, there's a cat meowing up there. I'm not in the office right now. I'm just gonna turn it off and show you something kind of silly I noticed. So I like my backlight just to be white and maybe like a red reactive effect. So this works well. They call it fire. But here's a silly thing that I noticed. Since the switches are so bright red and they light up with this light, when you set the backlight to just plain white, it basically makes the keyboard look purple. Sorry for the quality of this video, terrible quality from the phone, but should be good enough for this demonstration. So as you can see, it just makes them look pink. Did I say purple? I don't know, but kind of pink. Still looks good, but just kind of a silly thing that I noticed. See this? I mean, it looks purplish, pinkish with this the combination of those colors. Definitely not an issue with the Razer. So maybe something to consider to some. I think it's still nice. The aqua switches on the other HyperX keyboard, I'm too lazy to go to record it, I apologize, but they're light blue and they look very nice with white backlight. This one's here, once again, you get purplish pink effect because of the combination of white LED and bright red switch. Yeah, so just want to mention those couple of things. If I think of anything else at this point, I'll probably just leave it in the description of the video. So as always, if you have any comments or questions, please feel free to ask down below. I'll be sure to answer as quick as I can. I'm kind of in the middle of remodeling right now, hiding here in the office from the rest of the family who's doing all kinds of hard work, and I'm making this video hoping not to get busted and get in trouble. So I gotta go now, but thanks for watching. Bye.